Welcome, viewers. You're tuned into the Nation Podtalk Season 2, where we bring you inspiring conversations with top sports personalities and talented artists from around the world. Today, we have an incredible guest joining us all the way from the United States, cricketer Jasdeep Singh. A dynamic player and a rising star in American cricket, Jasdeep has been making waves with his performances on the field. Jasdeep Jessy Singh, a right-arm medium pacer and right-handed batsman, Jessy made his debut for Team USA in 2015 and now serves as the vice-captain. He's impressed in Major League Cricket, earning praise from Ricky Ponting, and has represented the USA in the T20 World Cup, including their historic win over Pakistan. Currently, he's also part of the IPL as a net bowler with Delhi Capitals. Let's dive into his incredible journey. Hosting this episode is our incredible and highly experienced host, Suresh Rajan Iyer, a seasoned voice in the world of sports conversations. Ready to lead yet another exciting episode?
So, hi viewers, this is Suresh Rajan Iyer calling from Cnation Podtalk. And as usual, we bring on a lot of sports persons from various walks of sports field, like cricket, football, javelin throws, and table tennis and volleyball and whatnot. So, and we talk about them, their glories, their triumphs, their struggles, their victories, and their little bit of personal life also. So this time we are proud to have with us one of the top US cricketer with us who has shown his prowess in the recently concluded World Cup T20 in USA and West Indies. This is Jasdeep Singh, the all-round player from USA team. Welcome, Jessy, on board.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on board here.
So nice. It's a very good morning to you and in your place, and we are in the India, so it's a good night for us. So anyway, so tell me one thing. See, the point is, you are born in USA and you are brought up in USA itself, right?
Right.
So how did you pick up this game of cricket? It's an alien game in USA.
Yeah, there's a bit of background story to it. I was born here and pretty much grew up here as well. But some part of my childhood years I spent in India as well.
Okay.
But never really looked to play, like cricket like that over there. But it's big in India. So, but I was always very much out playing kid. So. It was any sport that would come my way, I would put my hands on it. So that was basically it. Getting into cricket here in the US, there's a background story to it. My dad never played. I come from the family of wrestlers and kabaddi players. As it's pretty easy, pretty normal in being from Punjab. So I was the first one, but my dad's friends used to play. So every Saturday we would sort of go to my dad's friend just to hang out, and they, there's a big community. They all live in Princeton. Most of them are from south part of India.
Okay.
So they would play with the tennis ball in front of their driveways. Basically, it's all the houses, all friends next to each other's house. So they sort of, the street is basically theirs and they'll all play on it.
Right.
And I would just happen to join, just play with them. So, I think little that I knew, like, okay, it's just for fun. But I would just pick a ball, run in and bowl fast. And, me being young, I didn't really know not much about cricket, just pick up a ball and run and bowl fast. And then, all the guys started telling my dad that, oh, he's good, he should play. There's a league over here.
Okay.
He should play league cricket and all that. So that's how I happened to find out that there's a bit of league cricket, right? And I could probably play league cricket.
Fantastic. You became an accidental cricketer by watching others play, and then you just throwing the ball and you became a fast bowler also.
Yeah, a bit of a emotional story to it, you could say, or just how the life turns. Life paves a path for you. It was a heavy recession time in those days. We were struggling financially.
Okay.
My dad had taken a big hit in a business and a job, so I sort of had to, being young, I sort of had to give up on school, and start working. So my life was sort of, get up in the morning and work from 8 to like 6:37 in the night, right? 8 in the morning to 7 in the evening. So, I was working a labor job at a car shop.
Right.
That was pretty much back in the days. Now, there's so much resources. You can make money in so many different ways, but back in the days, there was not much.
Mhm.
So for me, it was that, like, okay, I had to sort of, help the family. So for a time being, for me, it felt like the life has just stopped, right? And I would normally question myself that, is this is what life has come to? Is this is what, I'm going to be? Is this is going to be my future? Like lifting heavy tires, working and all of that.
Right.
And then suddenly, then I would go alongside with my dad to my friend's house to know that there's, cricket, there's a cricket league. Eventually within a day, I found out there's a USA cricket team. And soon, I think a year later, the same year, I believe, or a couple of months later, I think USA was playing 2010 Under-19 World Cup in New Zealand.
Okay.
So I sort of got that, you could say a light at the end of the tunnel for me, that, oh, okay, there's a USA team, there's an Under-19 team, and I was about 15 at that time, right? So for me, it was like, okay, I want to play cricket. More so, it was at that moment, it was basically like, that was the only thing I was enjoying at that time, right? Most of the day I would be working, I'm tired, and then at the end of the day, we would just go in our apartment complex. There would be people playing. It was a huge Indian community. So for me, it just became a source of fun and enjoyment. And then from there on, I was like, okay, if I'm enjoying, and suddenly everybody was saying, the kid ball's fast, he should play and all that.
Okay.
So for me, it felt like, okay, if I want to get out of this life, maybe, I could try this, right? And I would say I'm lucky and blessed enough that it sort of worked out for me, right? I put in a lot of hours and all that, but I think I'm grateful how the opportunities kept lining up for me, right? At the end of the day, you sit here and you think like, oh, I did this, I did that. But now when I look back, I feel like, oh, that was my journey, basically. That's how it was meant to be. And God sort of just kept laying path for me and kept putting me on it. So yeah, I'm grateful that I was able to get out of that life, or else, I mean, yeah, I don't know, maybe I could have had a business now, or could have been working as a mechanic or a labor job, God knows what.
But you rightly said in your expressions that you brought the pleasure out of the pain. You took a lot of pain, working full day and all those things, and then you had some fire in your that I would like to try this and I would like to come out of this, and then you definitely came out of that, and you became a cricketer.
Yeah, I mean, I think there would be, if we look deep into the world, I think there would be millions of stories like me.
Right.
Everybody. I don't look to sort of gain a sympathy out of it, or I don't, feel. Like I said, I think that was my journey, right? Everybody goes through a struggle, and that's how it was for me, growing up. And yeah, I have no complaints or no regrets about it. But at the same time, like, okay, I had an opportunity to make something out of it, and I think, yeah,
you made it to that.
It worked out for me. Yeah.
When you got the opportunity, you converted into a very fantastic this one, and then transformation of your life from a day-to-day worker to a big sportsman for the country. That's really great transformation you have yourself taken into your life. It is very much appreciable.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Definitely. Now, when you started playing, as a fast bowler, and it was just picking up in USA those days,
Right.
In a decade or so, or maybe 15, 20 years down the line, it was USA was picking up, and you rightly entered into the arena. And then
Right.
suddenly you were picked up for the 11 or the team of USA, or what is your process entering into the USA team?
So it was quite a long process. At the same time, it was a bit slow as well because we don't really have any infrastructure in the
Right.
country where you're able, you're seen performing and all that. So it was mostly like you playing a league cricket. It comes down to a word of mouth, right? Somebody sees me playing and they recommend a name that, oh, you should go play there. And then there's, XY, selectors and all that. They're having a, eye on the league. And there was an under 19 camp. Yeah, so there was a lot of, it was a lot of tournaments that I had to go through.
Okay.
Um, so I was playing locally, I was playing everything, and then suddenly there was one tournament in California.
Right.
There was a team that was going from here, from Jersey, and obviously I was playing for, a couple of years. So everybody in Jersey knew me, like, okay, the kid in Jersey, was a fast bowler, good work ethics, he bowls fast and all. So these people reached out to me that, oh, um, there's a tournament and the requirement was that each team has to have one under 19 player.
Okay.
So they thought of me that, okay, they could take me for under 19. But the low side to that was that I had to pay my own expense.
Oh,
And it was about $600, and $600 at that time for me was like 6,000 or even more. Six,
$600, right?
yeah, $600, yes. So
Yeah,
$600 for me at that time was like,
big
you
amount.
know, very big amount. You're barely living, check to check.
Right.
So, but I was excited, right? They said, would you be able to do, 600 or not? And without thinking, I just said, yeah, I got it, right? But I had no idea. Like I had $50 in my wallet,
Oh,
and we probably had like, $100, $200 change at home, the whole
right.
family. So yeah, I said it, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and, work something. So I had $50, asked my dad for $100, that's all we had it. So I was able to range $150, $200 somehow, but then I was still $400 short.
Sure.
And it's funny enough now, right? My wife, we were dating back then. I had just met her.
Okay.
Not dating, we had just met actually, right? So she sort of knew that, okay, I, play cricket and all of that. But I was, you're obviously disappointed in those days. When you're not, you see an opportunity, but you're not able to go because, you don't have enough funds. So I just casually said, I said, I'm $400 short on this, but I really wanted to go, but I don't know how I'm gonna go with it, right? Never that I asked her for money or anything. The next day, she shown up at my house with the $400. She said, no matter what, you go, right? And even $400 for her was too much also because she was working on weekends only. She was full time in college.
Okay.
And back in the days, you would make about $6-7 an hour to work whole day. So yeah, and I'm glad, I'm grateful that she stepped up, she came forward with that money, and I was able to go to that tournament. I went to the tournament, right, and I think it was everything that could go right in that tournament. I was MVP. I was a best bowler. I had about 2 or 3 man of the matches. I think I had a clean bowled hat trick. So that sort of put me on a sort of a national map, right? There was a local media coverage who would cover the cricket part, for US. So that sort of announced it that, oh, there's a kid from Jersey that he came and best bowler. He became best bowler, MVP, hat trick, and all that. So that kick-started the journey for me. And then from one opportunity to the next to the, then it just kept opening up opportunities for me.
Right. If you want to walk 1,000 miles, taking the first step is very important. And you
Yeah,
took that
definitely.
pain and help from all the people, with family,
Yeah,
future wife.
Yeah,
He also helped you a lot, and then there was no looking back. I think after that, you straight away
yeah.
you straight away roped into national team after that.
No, still it was a bit of like you gotta keep knocking on it. So I thought I had done well enough to make the under 19 team that was going to Ireland for World Cup qualifications, I think T20.
Hmm.
But I had done well in the camp, right? But but I because I had no, I wasn't well-known kid in the country. There were other kids that were playing,
Okay.
and I wouldn't say it was the politics. Everybody has their own, way of looking at players.
Yes.
So yeah, I was overlooked for that under 19, tour.
Hmm.
I thought I had done well, but I was overlooked. And then yeah, I think they chose to go with the known kids that they had seen more, and so that sort of it was disappointing, right? And I really didn't have anybody to tell me like how to cope up with the emotions, that athletes go through this, or anybody. I never really had anyone
Okay.
around me. So a lot of the things I had to learn on my own, like, I felt disappointed for days. I'm not talking to nobody and all of that, which is, I think, normal in that age.
Correct. That's right.
And
At
then,
the young age of 19, 20, it's very difficult that you will be extrovert.
right, suddenly you're looking up to something and you feel like, okay, this is going well, 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 and then boom, and then you feel like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. So you really don't know like about the life.
That's right. That's right.
But then that sort of, I think that gave me, that motivated me, right? And obviously at the same time there was, a lot of pressure. I wouldn't say family pressure. They never stopped me to play, but there was a lot of a community pressure.
Hmm.
You have your other relatives, people around you. They were always talking that, oh, why is he going in cricket? There's nothing in cricket. He should look to work, maybe do this, do that, right? So I told my family, okay, give me like 2 to 3 years.
Some
If
time.
I
Yeah.
don't make it, yeah, if I don't make it right, then obviously. But my family never really actually said that, you shouldn't play and all that. Even my dad, like we were struggling, but I was working. My dad never said you shouldn't play cricket, you shouldn't do that. So I gave myself 3 years that okay, by the age of 22, 23, I want to, make it to the national team, the senior national team. Yeah, so I think, like I say, like I could sit down here and say that I did this, I did that, right? Yeah, I was working hard, I was putting all the effort, but I really think it was like it was a journey for me, and God has always kept blessing me, at a different part of my career. If the one door closes, another window opens. So He
Right.
sort of paved the ways, right? And then I was able to, by 2015, I think I was 22, um, I believe. And yeah, that's when I made it to the team. So ever since I've been part of it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Your journey is like roller coaster ride. Went down and went back up, and
Yeah.
then again. That is because
Yeah,
of
it's
your
been
resilience. Resilience was important. And family support. That played a
definitely, I
very
think,
important role, I believe.
yeah, I think definitely, all the cricketers nowadays we hear so many big stories coming out of, all the nations, especially India and, other countries as well. One thing common in is that, people are resilient
Yeah.
and they have a massive family support in the tough times. And I think without that, it's very hard for you to survive.
Rightly said. Rightly said. Rightly said. And
Yeah.
10 years back, you made it to the national team, and then you are still playing with the team. And very important question, actually. We all want to know, our people want to know that, what happened in this USA World Cup against Pakistan. That was a very fantastic game, and you people, defeated the once world champion in the very first game.
Yeah,
So tell us something
I
about
think,
that game. What was your preparation and what you discussed in the pavilion dugouts.
yeah,
This is a strong team, and
yeah, I
you
think
came out
cricket.
victorious of scoring after 184 runs, I think, right?
Right, right, right. I think cricket is a game of momentum and confidence.
Correct.
So before the World Cup, we had a great build up to the World Cup. We had played a 5 game series against Canada.
Mm.
We beat one game was rained out, and then we beat them 4-0.
Oh,
So that was good preparation, sort of, tool for us. And then Bangladesh came to US. We had a 3-match T20 series with Bangladesh,
Right.
and we beat Bangladesh. We won the series against Bangladesh, right? And that was a full side. That was their World Cup side. So obviously we were playing really good cricket, and by then we had sort of launched us on a world map that okay, we're coming to play World Cup.
Right.
And so we were playing great cricket, and we had a good momentum behind us. Everybody was confident. We were winning games, and then going into World Cup, the first game we played against Canada.
Yeah.
That was I think one heck of a game. We were losing, and then boom, we won the game, right? Everybody knows Aaron. Aaron played one heck of a knock, and everybody sort of supported him. So from losing a game to winning a game like that, it could sort of set up a momentum for a whole tournament. And for us, okay,
instill the confidence in your team actually.
Yeah, but I think even then, like when we were sitting in a dugout, like we knew, like for some reason we never thought that okay, we're going to lose the game.
Wow.
Even though we were losing a game for the first half, for the first half of a second inning, we were pretty much losing the game. And then we got a momentum, and boom, we took off and we won that game. And that sort of it was a opening game. You cannot ask for a better opening game in the World Cup than that. So that obviously gained more confidence, and we had a belief system that okay, we were gonna qualify for Super 8. But before that, we were planning. We were planning that there's 4 teams in our group:
Right.
Ireland, Canada,
India,
Pakistan, and India. Right. So we were checklisting. Basically, we were checklisting Canada and Ireland. That okay, these 2 teams we must beat them because we have played them before. We have beaten them before.
Right.
So there is no there's no way we're not beating these teams. We must beat them. Right. And out of India and Pakistan, we knew India is a great unit, right? And they were great. They had a very good momentum. They were winning everything coming into World Cup. But Pakistan side was opposite. Pakistan had played home series. They had lost the home series, and
Right.
against New Zealand, I believe. Yeah, they had lost in that as well. And then they played a series in Ireland. They lost that series as well.
Correct.
So we knew like we are on, we are coming with a good momentum. We are more confident, and they're coming with losses, 2 loss series to the World Cup. So we thought, okay, we have a chance, right? If we do proper planning and proper execution, we can beat this team. And Pakistan sort of had that history in big events where either they'll go ahead and win the whole World Cup, or they can be totally opposite, where they things don't go their way, and they could lose the game.
They have a history of the games like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they lose
So
to
we
the
sort of
untalented teams.
So small things, we planned on small little things, like okay, let's work on it. And when the game started, for us it was a home ground. We have played there before. For them, there was a new game, new ground, and all that. And we got off to a great start, and we picked a few wickets, and then we went on with it. I think
you picked up the wicket of one of the wickets you have picked up, I think.
Babar Azam's wicket. I think he was off to
he started off Pakistan team.
Yeah, he started off slow, but then he picked up. He picked up, and he got off to flyer. After that, he was going well. So I remember, right, one of my over had gone for 2 sixes.
Yeah.
And then I came back. I remember Monank, he's our captain.
Right.
He's a wicket keeper. So me and him has a great rapport. We have played a lot of cricket together. So he came, and we had planned it. He came and he said, we need a wicket. He said, try getting a wicket. We need a wicket. I started off first. We said, okay, we'll ball him for bigger side of the field. I tried that. He hit me for a 6. And then I was like, okay, I'll go to my strength, what we had planned. Me and him spoke about it. We had worked on it sort of where Babar Azam struggles when the ball comes back into him. I had tried the same ball in my first overs. He got an inside edge and he went for a 4 down the fine leg. So I tried the same ball again, and it moved good enough to beat his bat and got a LBW.
LBW.
So I think that gave us some momentum. If he was there, he could have been another 30, 40 run difference.
Single-handedly, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it could have been another 30, 40 run difference. From there, the game shifted. But I think it was complete. Like that game was one game where everybody has
Fantastic.
chipped in.
You had that
Batting,
even
bowling,
the
yeah.
opening batsman. Your
Yeah.
opening batsman also scored a very heavy attacking batting, and then the score was so high.
Yeah.
Fantastic batting display by you people as well as the bowling also.
Yeah, definitely. I think Monank and Andres, everybody, they put up a great display. Pakistan is known to be one of the greatest bowling unit,
right?
In the world, and to show the courage and especially when you're playing them first time, to show the courage and sort of announcing yourself that okay, we're here to compete. We're not just here to participate. We're here to win. So yeah, it was great experience. Lifetime memory.
No, tell me one thing. What was happening? During those 20 overs of innings in your dugout and among the players. What was the?
I mean, it's the emotions are always high. Any game you take it, and that in particular was very high. We had done well, then we got off to start. Then we were literally a bit casual because at one point we were cruising. Then we're gonna win the game. We're probably gonna win the game with 17, 18 overs, and 17 to 18 overs, right? And then Amir, I think, Amir bowled a great spell. Mohammad Amir.
Right.
He brought a great spell. He brought the whole, the score back, and they picked up 1 or 2 wickets, and suddenly we were on a back foot, right? And then I think it came down to a last over. The last over was full of emotions because you didn't know where it's gonna go. And when a game like that is going on, there's no way you can think too far ahead of
right.
the
Ball by
time.
ball, you have to think.
Yeah, you're right there. Like there's so much going on, and at the moment you can't really think. So for us, we were still like looking to win the game. We wanted to win the game. And then obviously we have tied up the game, and then have a super over.
Yeah.
That just the whole super over just went our way. Yeah.
Right.
The super over was basically, I think everybody probably thought that Ali's gonna bowl, because he's probably most experienced when it comes to T20, because he's played leagues all around the world. He has played PSL and all sort of leagues.
Right.
But I think it was a great call from our captain to have Saurav ball.
Oh.
He's a lefty, and try to ball to the bigger side of the field, and that literally worked out for us. Yeah.
Fantastic. That was, that actually should be written in the bold letters that, the rookie team like USA beating the once world champion, Pakistan.
Yeah.
You did not spare Indian team also. It was a very close finish.
Very close game.
Very close game. Yeah.
If we beaten India, I think it would have been, a completely different story. But we had a very great game. But it was a never-ending batting lineup with the India. You get 1 wicket, the next one comes, he's as good as the one that gone.
Right.
So it was always like that.
Number 9, number 10 also bats very well.
Yeah, we had one opportunity. We dropped Surya Kumar. His catch was dropped. We dropped that. I think if we had taken that catch, we could have closed the game.
Right.
But yeah, they're a very experienced unit. They,
Shivam Dubey was there.
Jadeja was there to come, Hardik and all that.
Yeah.
So there was it's very hard to stop a unit like that. But I think we put up a great fight.
Yeah, it was a very close finish. I told you.
It was a great game.
As a newcomer, newbie in the World Cup, this one, and then you were displaying such a cricketing skills in that tournament. It was really the absorb of all the eyes all over the world. The USA team, there's something they can do wonders.
Right. And even like when you look at it, right? If India is playing a team like USA, let's say, if we hadn't beat Pakistan the way we beat them, right? in India playing us in the World Cup, they would probably win the toss and bat first and
Right.
look to put up a big score. And but they won the toss and decided to ball first. That sort of told, okay, even they know that, okay, we're coming in with the good force. So it wasn't like even India they didn't take us light, and they
Yeah,
played a very competitive cricket. Yeah.
that's right. Indian team is known for that. They never take any game lightly. They play very seriously.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
impact of that result in the end.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you people qualified for the semis, I think,
Yeah.
in that
We,
World
we
Cup.
went
And
to
then next
yeah.
World
We
Cup,
went
you
to Super
are
Eights. Yeah.
qualified for the next World Cup in India and Sri Lanka, I believe so.
Yeah. Because
Yes,
we qualified for the next stage Super 8, then we automatically get the
fantastic.
next World Cup.
Then I
So
think
now, yeah, it's going to be a great build up to the next
right,
World Cup.
right.
It's
I
going
think
to be in
when
India
you
and Sri Lanka.
when you tour India, I think we would like to catch you up there in to talk to you.
Definitely.
Maybe next year. That's right.
Yep.
Right. Now, what was the impact of your victory or your performance in the World Cup with your cricket body in the country? Was there any promotions or were there any incentives given to
I
the
mean, uh, in terms of incentives and all that, right? We got the bonus that you get from ICC for finishing whatever stage you finish. There's a different amount for each stage, whether you're finalist, semi-finalist, Super 8, or first round and all that. So we got that bonus. But in terms of like financially, if we had hoped that it would bring a major change to our financial situation with the cricketing body. That hasn't really happened yet.
Okay.
We're still hoping that at some point it should. We're far behind on that. That's sort of players take that hit big time. But yeah, that's sort of still behind. But I think cricket-wise, it made a big impact
Big impact.
on the community.
Correct.
Now, when I come back home, we travel a lot now. So when I'm back home, I go to academies and I visit and I see little kids, right? Okay, now they have local heroes to look up to instead of looking up to Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and all. Now they have local heroes to look up to, whether it's a fast bowler or batter or spinner or anybody. And a lot of kids have adopted the sport since last year.
Right.
Just in New Jersey, I remember like growing up, right? There used to be two academies, 2 to 3 academies max, right? There was inauguration for one academy last month, and they had invited me, and I happened to find out there's about 24 academies in New Jersey itself.
Okay.
So that's a big boost already. And US is a big country, and if there's 24 here, I'm sure in the whole country it'll be hundreds of academies.
Should be more, and it will expand in the due course of time, I believe. So after this, your performance in the World Cup, numbers will
Right.
increase. And
Yeah.
now this is the impact of the World Cup performance from your team. But was there any personal improvement in your life after the World Cup?
In terms of
Financially, this one or the position wise or something like that?
I mean, like financially from cricket side is still sort of the same, but we have a major league right now.
Okay.
That's going on, right? So major league, there's a contracts, that there's a different amount contracts. So major league, if you get a good contract, then you have a good boost. But once you represent USA at the world stage, you're more known and familiar face
Right.
in the community. So a lot more opportunities open up, whether it's coaching, business. People are more likely to partner up with you and do things. So in terms of that, yeah, there's quite a few things happen. A lot of people have stepped forward to do things together. So a lot of things are in talks right now. But yeah, the major league, personally for me, major league this year. I think it's going to be big boost financially. I was first draft pick all around in the country this year, so that's a decent amount,
That's
a good
great.
amount.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we were coming back to that, after the impact of the World Cup, what is the change
Right.
in your personal life as well as the sporting life you went through?
Yeah, I mean, sporting life, we got a lot more cricket happening now, right? We're more well-known nation when it comes to cricket in the cricketing world. So and I think before we used to just overlook, that it's just a USA cricket team, it's associate nation, nobody cared about us, right?
Right.
And we wouldn't like even, we wouldn't really get that sort of respect and recognition when it comes to be playing against full member nation India and Pakistan. And that sort of has changed now people look at us differently. And then obviously our guys are more of our players are going around playing T20 cricket, so that sort of exposure we got from World Cup, obviously a lot of confidence. And when you come to your respective states and cities, then you have kids looking up to you. You have people appreciate you differently. So in general, I think we gain a lot of respect and recognition.
What was your parents' reactions, after the World Cup performance? You went through a lot of hardships during the initial stage. After
Yeah.
the performance of the World Cup, what was the, reaction of your parents?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was around. They came to watch the Pakistan game, and they watched the game against India as well, since it was in the US. So majority of my family was there, watching these games. My dad passed away back in end of 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, only I had a bit of emotional breakdown when I was playing a game against India. It was a stadium full of 30 some thousand people, and New York is my own sort of city. This is where I grew up playing, New York and New Jersey. So the only thing, like when you go through a hardship, then you see good days and all that. And when a core member of your family is not there anymore, so you sort of miss that part, that these are good days, and I wish he was around to witness all of this.
Witness the success you got.
Yeah. So that obviously one of your goal in your life is to make your parents proud.
Parents.
Then your community proud, and so yeah, but it's life, that's how it goes. You gotta go with it, it doesn't stop. But yeah, people that you lose, sometimes you're not able to recover from it. But yeah, my mom, I'm lucky, and I'm so happy and grateful that my mom was there to
Made your
witness,
mother
because
proud.
she has gone through so much since we were grown up, since the time we were growing up, and so for me to see the joy on her face and my family, it's sort of everything. I think it's priceless.
Tell me one thing. What was your wife's expression? She was there
So
for so days, long. When did you pay back the $400 to back to her?
no, I mean, she didn't take it back. And then once I went and I came back and I told her, obviously I said, it's fair time. I said, because of these 400 you gave me, I had a chance to go out there and do and showcase myself. And I said, now these 400 will turn her life beautifully, it'll shape up her life really good.
Still you owe it to her.
I still owe it her. I don't think I ever want to pay that money back. I would pay in different ways, but yeah.
Fantastic.
But yeah, she's been. I mean, growing up, she had no idea, what cricket is. She had no idea of how the game works and all that. But over the period of time, watching me, she has learned, and now she knows everything about it. So she usually comes. She's a full-time worker herself. She works in an IT field, So, when she has a time off, she travels with me to, some tours and some games. And yeah, so it's good to have your family around.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Family's support is without that one, you cannot succeed in your life.
Right.
Correct. So you tell me, you are the only son or for your parents, or you have brothers, sisters?
No, I'm the only son. I have two sisters. One is older, one is younger.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm the only son in the house.
And do you have children?
Yes, I actually we just had a newborn about 5, 6 weeks ago,
Wow.
about 6 weeks ago.
Yes, you are a proud parent also.
Yeah.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm luckily he's not crying out loud right now. So
Okay.
it's good.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, one thing is, which comes to my mind is, when you were growing as a cricketer or a sports person, was there any role model in front of you? I want to become like this, or kept something as an ideal player. I will follow. I will become like him.
I mean, so, me, like, when I got into cricket, not that
Yeah.
I was watching cricket so much, not that I knew all the cricketers and all that. So, like, my journey is different compared to a lot of other kids will grow up watching cricket, knowing everybody, and then go into it. But when I started watching cricket, you know, um, I mean, back then we didn't have smartphones. We had the
Right.
best phone back then was the flip-flop phone from Motorola, and those slide phones. And the only we had a desktop in the house, and so I started doing a lot of research on YouTube and online. So I would watch a lot of videos of players and how it goes coaching. So it was for me. It was like watch, learn, and adapt,
Okay.
that sort of. So I had to sort of learn like that. And I used to watch videos, like a lot of different bowlers and all that. But then I would watch videos of Freddie Flintoff, Andrew Flintoff from England. And he would always, like, I always liked him,
He's a
like,
glamorous personality.
yeah. And I always liked it how, either he would win the game for England with the ball. If not with the ball, he'll go and win it with the bat. Right. And I just liked his personality, how he was and all that. So that's sort of one character I always looked up to. And bowling, when it came to, I used to watch Dale Steyn a lot. Right.
Dale Steyn.
Yeah. That's where I sort of picked up a lot of, outswing. He was one of the best bowlers in that era. Yeah. So for me, it was Flintoff. And I was lucky enough to meet him in the World Cup, actually. Yeah, he was with the Yeah, he was with the England team when we were playing a game against England. After the game, I went up to him. I had a good chat, good long chat. Told him about how I used to look up to him and how my life has turned up and all that. And I'm actually I'm happy that he survived a big crash. Actually, he was in a big crash. He went through a major accident and surgeries.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and altogether, it was like a starstruck moment in the World Cup. Meeting the guy that you look up to. Yeah, so for me, it was Andrew Flintoff.
Fantastic. Now there was very good big compliments coming from Ricky Ponting for you.
Yeah, so there's a there's a story to that also. Actually, I was playing. You're playing a World Cup for your country. You're consistent. Player in the 11, playing 11, and you're doing decently well. You're doing good enough, and then suddenly you don't see yourself being drafted in your own league that is happening in your country, major league, right? So yeah, I was very disappointed and disheartened that how come I didn't get picked. Like, you suddenly, if you're that you're you're good enough for this stage and you're better than where you are right now, you should be playing, right? So yeah, I was disheartened that I didn't get picked, right? And World Cup finished, and then I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. And then one of the teams from major league reached out to me for a netballer, right? So as in cricketers, you have, as an athlete, you have an ego inside you. Every player has it, I think. There's no way that anybody can stand up. It's just like somebody has high, a lot
Right.
more than another person.
Correct.
And they reached out to me and said that, we need a netballer, then are you willing to come and all that, So first it hit me like, how are you gonna ask me to come for a netballer? I just played a World Cup. I felt disrespected and all that, right? So I took my day or two to respond to that. And I went through so much went through in my head in those 2 days. And then I was like, you know what? We had a series coming up after that,
Okay.
ODI series after that. So I was like, you know what? It can't get worse than this, right? And I'm here now, right? Might as well I'll look at it that, okay, I'll go and, it'll be a good preparation for me. I'll be bowling on turf, I'll be bowling to good batters, and I'll get ready for my, ODI series. That's how life goes. So I went there. I wouldn't name the team. I went there, played. I had played for the same team a year before.
Okay.
So, I was expecting a little bit better treatment when I go there, but I didn't get it. And I don't blame them. They have their own agendas and all that. I was expecting for a better treatment, but I didn't get it. And, at times I felt very humiliated, disrespectful, but I took it, I took it for that 1 week. I took it like a man, and I was like, okay, whatever it is, I'm here. Let's stick to my purpose. I'm here for my practice. I'm going to ball. And, that's it. I'm not looking for any expectations and any results. And that's it. I went, did that, and I came back. And a few days later, when the, major league started and all, my teammate Saurav, he plays for Washington Freedom. Saurav Netrawalkar. Everybody knows him, actually.
Yeah, his name is very famous nowadays in India.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Great guy to have around the team. So they were expecting at that time, and the baby's delivery date was around in the middle of the tournament. So I get a call from Michael Klinger. He was the general manager for Washington Freedom, and he said, Saurav might have to go for his their baby's delivery, and we are looking at you for potential replacement, but it'll be mostly for 1 or 2 games, he said. And I remember I had an interview with our township's mayor in the municipal building, and I was just walking in and I got a call, and I was short on time. I really didn't have much time to think. How is it gonna go? I didn't have time to ask a lot of questions either. I said, sure, I'll come. I was like, sure, I'll come. I was like, worst come worst, I'll go, and I'll ball my heart out. And I'll try to impress Ricky Ponting and in the whole team. At least they could pick me for next year. So that was my thing, right? I said I'll bowl in the nets and stuff. Yeah, so I went over there. And I was there, and I'm not part of the team yet, because I guess the date was delayed for Saurav, and he came back. He flew back to play that one game, so I had to wait. And then eventually he went, right? And there was I was basically there for 2 games. So back of my head, like when you're in that stage, you're thinking like, there is no way these guys will play me in the 11. I said, there's no chance. And I was like, Ricky hasn't seen me, right? He hasn't seen me in person, because we were not able to there was a rain and there was traveling. We were not able to get a practice session. So he hasn't seen me. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to play, right? So funny enough, the hotels are nearby. The other team, my US teammates, Monank and Cheyenne, they play for one team. And I just went there one evening by their place. Just we were hanging out, had food and all that. And Monank said that, I think you're going to play tomorrow, right? I said, there's no way. They have never seen me. How they're going to play me, right? They'd rather go with the guys they have. Said, no, I think you're going to play. And I was laying down over there, and I get a message from Ricky Ponting. He said, mate, you're in tomorrow. You're playing tomorrow. And I jump off my bed. I said, Monu, you were saying you were going to play. I'm going to play, and I'm playing tomorrow. So, it's, I took a long walk, actually. It's about 26 to 27 minute walk between the 2 hotels. Instead of taking an Uber or taxi, I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk. So I let it process in that walk. I was going through it, because obviously emotions are high. You want to control your emotions, when you're stepping up on a stage like that to play. So you want to control your emotions. So I let it soak in everything. Okay, then I was like, okay, I need to be ready for tomorrow. But the backing that I had from Ricky Ponting and the whole staff, right? And we sat down, we planned the whole games. Ricky said, I said, Ricky, what do you want me to do? He said, you tell me what you want to do tomorrow. Whatever you can do the best, we'll go with that plan. So I literally went over the whole plan. I said, this is, I want to do this tomorrow. This is what my strength is. And I think to this better, you plan about the game. And I went ahead and played a game. I had sort of visualized in the morning, when I do yoga and a bit of meditation, I had visualized my day. I usually do that before the game. And it was one of those days that everything you visualize and it goes exactly like that. I visualized myself getting to the ground, visualized myself getting a cap from Loki, and I got a cap from Loki, right? And visualized myself having a great game, and then, like what I'm gonna say in the interview and all that. I had sort of visualized all of it. And it was one of those days that if everything that, I had visualized, it went well, right? Because at that point I had nothing to lose. I was like, okay, I just want to ball my heart out. And I was able to pick 3 wickets and, got a man of the match, and it sort of laid on in a good story.
Yeah, definitely. No,
yeah, and then I remember Ricky coming and saying that, mate, you were bloody awesome. He said, there's nothing, you didn't do that you have said you're going to do. You did exactly what you said you're going to do, right? So, yeah, so that sort of boosted my confidence. Yeah.
And then we had such a great player himself, Ricky Ponting. He led Australia to a couple of World Cup victories also.
He's one of the best coaches I've played, and I could see like why he's been so successful as a leader, whether it's coaching or a captain, because just the way he knows how to bring the best out of each player in a different caliber. If they were treating Steve Smith, Maxwell, and Travis Head here, they had the rest of the local boys over there as well. They were giving actually more priority to the local guys. So it was a great environment. Then I had one game went really well, and I was like, okay, you know what? Now I'm playing tomorrow as well. I know I'm playing tomorrow, and I was like, I must have another good game. I said, it's such a good time going on. And as a cricketer, when your time is going good, you want to cash out because it's not always, your day. So I said, but I must, have another good game. I just don't want it to be a one good game, and be it like, people say, oh, it was just a fluke. He just had a one good game. And luckily, I was able to repeat the same thing the second game. So, had 2 men of the matches in 2 games, and then I'm out of the team because Saurav came back. Yes. So I can't be part of the team. Only limited guys can be, a number of domestic players can be part of the team. So I'm out of it, but they kept me there throughout the tournament. I was there till the final as well. Okay. So yeah, I think it shaped up really well that they really wanted to retain me. I was in talks with them, but there were certain rules in the league that didn't allow them to retain me. I had to go in a draft. And look, when you're not when you want something and you don't get it, you're always you always question, and you always doubt sort of your faith in God and be like, why me, right? Why didn't I get picked, right? And then but you don't realize it, right? And then later when you connect the dots, then you realize, okay, this was the reason why you didn't get picked. Like, I didn't get picked, there was a reason behind it. I'm gonna go into this team and play 2 games, win the both games for the team, and then literally become a story of the year, right? And then you get all the answers you're looking for, right? And then I was like, okay, my mom always tells me these things, like everything God does, there's a reason behind it. And I'm a sole believer that everything happens for a good reason. If I had got picked in another team, maybe I wouldn't have got a games. Exactly. You never know, right? And then from not being picked in the draft at all, luckily being a first pick in the draft this year, Yeah, so I mean, life is a beautiful journey. You have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, it takes unexpected turns, and
yeah, and
in
you
your
can only
life, you don't know when you will go up, and then when you will go shine in the world. Like,
literally.
these things do happen in the life.
I mean, I have seen it firsthand, and I've seen a lot of people go through it. So, and you can certainly you can only control so much, and you should
Yes.
only control the things you can control, right? The results are not in your hand. You don't know where the life is heading.
Effort
But
is in your hand. Effort is in your hand. Results are not in our hand.
definitely, sooner or later, I feel like if you're working hard and you're sincere to your work, sooner or later you're going to get it.
Yes.
Uh, Maybe your journey is different to someone else. Some people get it in their early 20s, some get it in their late
Yes.
20s, some get it towards the end of.
Everybody's time zone is different.
Yeah,
You
somebody
have to
get
just
towards
be
the
on
end
the
of their
path of
career.
life and then continue to do hard work and sincere
Yeah.
efforts. Definitely,
Yeah.
the fruits will be there.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned about Saurabh.
Yeah.
Can you go throw your, what do you say, the inner talks with Saurabh and how his person as a cricketer and how as a leader?
He's a great guy, like I said. He's a great guy. He's got great work ethics, very disciplined. He's one of the most disciplined, guys in the team, and he knows his game. He knows how to go about his preparation, game, and all that. He's a very organized person, right? He's a lot more funny than people think he is. Yeah. And he likes to crack a lot of dad jokes and all. He's a very funny guy. At times he annoy us, but at the same time, we like having him around. We always go on dinners together, or we order food together and we sit down and eat. So we have a lot of chats. He's a great guy to have in the team, and I was personally very happy for his success last year.
Yes.
I think he had a crazy success last year, but yeah, people usually see success. Actually, people don't really see the build up behind it. He's also got a great story how he came to the US after playing under 19 World Cup first class, giving up cricket, pursuing a career as a software engineer, and then picking up cricket all over again and being successful in both fields. It's not an easy thing to do, and I think he have done it pretty well.
Pretty hard worker. And I was told that he was during his what do you say, the off times in the games, he used to work for his office in the pavilion, also dugouts.
I mean, not in the dugouts, but yeah, not in the dugouts. In US games, you're obviously professional setup. You cannot have devices around. But yeah, he's always he had now his company supports him a lot. But early days, he had to carry his laptop around and work in the room. And actually, he got that he's able to share that story to the world, right? But there's quite a few guys like that. Who do that in a US team. Matter of fact, all of us actually, work jobs and play cricket at the same time. Nobody's a full-time cricketer. So, yeah, for everybody's, there's some sort of hustle on the side. Yeah, but I'm glad the world was able to know through Saurabh that what cricketers in US go through.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, like what we have the major cricketing countries in the world, like Pakistan, India, England, Australia, and all those things. Whether USA has a single body or a different bodies all over the different states.
I mean, there's a one single governing body, that is USA Cricket Association, and everything else just works under them. So, yeah, so there's one governing body. Now I think Olympics is stepping up in, because we have Olympics in 2028.
Olympics is coming up, right?
And cricket is being part of it. So there's going to be some sort of changes in it, because Olympics has to be part of the governing body. So yeah, there's a lot of work going on in the back end.
Coming Olympics, I think we'll see USA participating in cricket also.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think cricket is there, so that's why they're stepping in also. Hopefully, which I think which we are hoping that they play a major hopefully they play a major role in the grassroots levels, to bring cricket in schools and colleges and all that. It's a long-term project, but it has to start as soon as possible.
Now, in the countries like the India, Pakistan, England, and all those things, they have a series of tournaments. Like Ranji in India, we have Ranji is there, the league trophies are there. Like that, you have any tournaments like that internally?
We don't really have a first-class structure like Ranji because we don't play Test cricket, right? We don't really have that. Although I think we should, right? If we want to be a full member nation, I think that's one of the requirements. But we do get like a national tournaments, but it's not really a proper structured tournament. The only two things we have in domestic is we get a minor league all over the US. That's the T20, and then we have a major league. That's the major tournament, like big franchise league. So those are the only two things happen. The main domestic would be, I would say, the minor league right now. That's where most of the cricketers play, and it's displayed all around the US. It's live, so you're able to see who's out there performing, and then these scouts look up for these kids, the new young players or somebody who's doing good for the major league also.
Right. Now, is there any league coming up for you as a team player, or for the USA to participate in any tournaments which is coming up before the World Cup?
We play a World Cricket League too. There's about 8 or 9 countries, I think, that's after the top 10-12 teams. There's USA, Canada, Netherlands, Namibia, Scotland, and UAE, and a few other teams. So we play among ourselves. We have ODI series. We play about 3 series in a year. So we have one coming up next month in May. We're gonna host, I think, Oman and Canada, and then we'll have one after the major league, I believe, in UAE and Scotland. And then we'll probably have a camp in Sri Lanka before the World Cup. We have a T20 coming up actually in Caribbean. We're heading to Cayman Islands now in a week time. So yeah, there's quite a bit of cricket.
I think your plates are full now, plenty.
Yeah, but it's never enough. As a cricketer, it's never enough.
That's correct.
It's more cricket. Yeah.
Now, as a team, you bind very well after the World Cup, and then what are your schedules, routine? How is as a person, what is your day-to-day routine? You are still working or only playing cricket now?
Most of us are still working on the side.
Working, yeah.
Some have some, small businesses. Some have some.
Then when do you practice? When do you practice for the nets?
How we take out time? I have to head out now in a bit.
Okay.
I have my practice, and then gym we go in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you manage your work life alongside of it.
Okay.
So one or the other way. The good thing is that the guys who have grown up here, so we have grew up through this system. We know how to manage it.
Okay.
And it gets hard for the guys who move out from India or other countries where cricket is a full time. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to worry about their bills. And then when they come here and they have to manage all, cricket and work together, it gets hard for them. That's where a lot of cricketers lose, their touch in the game and lose their interest. But some of us that grew up here, so we know how to manage it. You have to be very
local guys there. Local guys.
Yeah, you have to be very specific with your.
But as a team, you come together for a weekend or something like that, or a 15. What is that schedule?
No, not very often.
That's
I mean, States is a big country. USA. There's takes about 6 hours from one coast to another coast in the flight. Right, so the biggest task for us is getting together more often and training together as a team. So usually before the tournament, we form, the team together for a week or 2, and then we train together, go into the tournament. I think moving forward, hopefully we are hoping, it could improve more. We have a more funds coming in, right, to sort of put these plans in place. Yeah, but at the moment it's a hard task because there's players from all over the US and it's hard to get guys in one spot.
Right. Now, couple of questions like, as a cricketer, you yourself, what will be your message to the young kids of USA when they take up the cricket as their profession? What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, I think there's a peer pressure from parents and the community that cricket is not gonna give you that much money, which is sort of true also. But if you have a dream that you want to play, right, and you have a will to go for it, the opportunities and the path will it start paving on its own. And my advice would be dream as big as you can, right, and then go for it. Work hard, go for it. Don't let anyone else tell you what you should do in your life. Your journey could be completely different to someone else, and often we live in a world where we are told to live a very template sort of life, or very stereotype, where you do this and then get out of it, right? But I think you should dream big and do what you love and go for it.
Fantastic. Dream big, do what you love with passion. That's fantastic
Yep.
words. Now,
Yeah.
as a Jessy, where do you see that, a couple of years down the line, maybe 5-6 years, USA cricket will be?
I think first, when we started back in 2016, we were in a lower division, Division 4. That's when we started. We had this slogan, Road to World Cup. So we had a dream that we want to take USA to the world map. We want to play a World Cup, right? I think we sort of achieved that. Now we want to do well in the next World Cup, because we've done so good in this one. I think my personal, and I'm sure everybody in the team has the same goal. Now we want to see Team USA as an full ODI nation, competing at the same stage with India, Pakistan in that league, being an associate team. And I think we're good enough to compete at that level. So the next goal for us, in the 5 years time, I would say faster than that, so I could still play. But yeah, the ultimate goal would be play the 2027 World Cup, the ODI World Cup, and gain a full-time status for USA.
Fantastic. All the aspirations and dreams to come true. And now the last question, which comes to you as a cricketer, a successful cricketer from USA. What will be your message to your fans, like sitting in front of you?
Fans, I think as a cricketer, we love getting that support, and the love from the fans. I think it plays a major role in our well-being and in our confidence. It helps us a lot. So I would say I'm extremely grateful for all the support and the love I've been getting all this time. And I think without that, and without the fan support and the love, it's hard to be where we are right now. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful, and I would say keep supporting us, keep supporting me, keep loving, keep pouring your love towards me, and I'll continue to work hard to keep everyone happy.
Fantastic setting. So now let me wish you, on behalf of myself personally as well as our channel, all the best in your life, and may your team achieve a lot of laurels and the honors in the coming tournaments and the World Cup itself. And definitely, if you are in Mumbai for the World Cup, definitely would like to meet you. And here's again wishing you all the success in your life, the team, as well as your family members. My regards to each and every one, mother and your wife and the kid. And you succeed in your life as a cricketer and bring laurels to the country. And definitely we'll catch up sometimes when you are in Mumbai or India.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the kind words and well wishes. Thank you so much for having me on board. I think it was a lovely time. I hope I was able to answer most of the things, and definitely
You have
once.
not a single question was dubbed enough. Everything you took in your stride and hits fours and sixes in that. And now just a small, if you can speak in your mother tongue, one or two lines for our Indian fans.
Anji, I mean, Punjabi, and it
Punjabi
comes.
tha, oh, no.
Anji, Punjabi ਹੈ
Yes, yes.
ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੂੰਗਾ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਫੈਨਸ ਆ the whole Indian community ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ be it from ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਪੂਰੇ all over India, I think ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਤੇ USA ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਵੈਲ, ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਆ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ, ਤੇ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ, ਰਾਈਟ? Yeah, that's about it.
So nice. Thank you. And what do you call this? Sat Sri Akal.
Sat Sri Akal.
Sat Sri Akal. Vaheguru. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. And your channel is a privilege to have you to discuss with your cricketing journey. Fantastic. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you so much.